Destroy!
She looks like an angel.
Ugh, I don't know. That line seems to stink of Lucas.
Are you an angel?
Until you apologize! Now apologize! Great time I'm having!
Monsters
Shuttle
out there,
crash,
leaking
cursed
in
Earth,
here,
cannibals, and now a fireball up my ass! If you had no, I wouldn't be here in the first place!
Looks like you made a friend.
It looks like Jar Jar Binks' aborted fetus. A choir is brought in to sing straight up gibberish that sounds like some sort of dead language. Oh, there.
Grabbed me and said, Aunt May? Aunt May? Is that an angel?
Are you an angel?
Ugh.
To pee or not to pee?
I'm sure this is what Rodgers and Hammerstein had in mind when they wrote this angelic music. Dwarves, cross-dressers, and Obi-Wan Kenobi in Lederhosen.
Low. It's not like he was Jake Lloyd. Oh, that kid was shit.
But on the plus side, at least we know Lucas would never partake in another overly annoying racial stereotype in his film career. He'd just save himself for the especially annoying ones.
For every 24 Phantom Menaces, there is a Return of the King. For every 2-bit Shyamalan, a Stanley Kubrick is born.
For every realization that Where the Wild Things Are is a brilliant movie, there's another realization that maybe The Dark Knight Rises was incredibly stupid.
But who to pick to shell out the laughs without appearing lame or half-assed?
Enjoy how he is in no way worse than Jar Jar Binks singing Bjork while scratching a blackboard with a screaming baby during a fire alarm in a house of howling mental patients.
Number 8. I'm not even gonna name this one. I think you can all guess what it is.
Years ago, a battle was fought, and an empire was destroyed. Now, the saga will continue.
You were expecting someone else?
Yep, the same year The Phantom Menace was being hyped up, Austin Powers' sequel, The Spy Who Shagged Me, surprised us with this hilarious fake-out. Yeah, baby! Make it a big hit. I think people were laughing so hard at this and so happy just to see these characters again that no matter what you showed them, they probably would have been happy. How can number one priority?
If you see only one movie this summer, see Star Wars.
Nothing much else to say. It delivered just the right punch at just the right time.
Hello, help me with the chair, please. All I wanted was a frickin' rotating chair.
Up! The realistic kid measurements are off the chart! But sadly, like the discovery of anything new, the excitement of one element often overshadows the other important ones. Everyone could post in a forum how much they liked or disliked a film. And with great speed, too. Yeah, I'm sure they'll catch on as well as this.
Power!
I mean, I guess it's open to anyone. You know, given the midichlorian count, a part of me almost wishes I could hate it more, as they used to be the weakest part of the Star Wars movies. He shot out of a can. Back! Jar Jar Binks.
You know Star Wars The Phantom Menace?
Oh, that gigantic piece of
awesomeness? We loved it too. That's why we want to do a film exactly like that.
Except we want to replace all the boring dialogue and exposition
with even more boring dialogue and exposition.
That sounds incredibly backwards.
Oh, but you know how all the characters took themselves too seriously?
Nobody liked that.
Making the story seem more important than it really is.
Amazingly unpopular.
When really they're just a person who's bored with their lives, who discovers that they're amazing.
Well, at least he has his episode 1 shield while reenacting the Masters of the Universe movie. Up, that's what the side pod is for, keep it focused. We then cut to, well, I would have said Rivendell, but both work. That, plus the voice of the Trade Federation guys from Phantom Menace.
Like Jake Lloyd, no one?
But my midichlorian count isn't high enough to have the Force.
It's the greatest trailer I've...
Oh, hello, sir.
They're Jar Jars.
Honey, we got the company.
We got the company. We got the company.
Pioneers of Jefferson Starship cameo about now.
Now you sit here and watch things while I go and make the dinners. Oh, Piosa!
Wouldn't you love to see how Jar Jar celebrates Black History Month?
I'd rather drive with Jake Lloyd. You're not concerned why the Jar Jars are watching gay acrobatic holograms?
Oh, Piosa! Double Piosa! Leviosa! Okay, time to watch the human pornographies I have for some reason. Oh, Pliosa!
How is that?
Turn, spin, spin, turn. Whoa!
And I converted to Chewbaccaism the minute I married Mrs. Jar Jar.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of whoa!
Squeeze me, but Misa got to know how to.
Oh, thank heavens that finally paused.
That's not your real voice?
Oh, no. That's just a phase my race goes through. You see, we all start off whiny and annoying, but then we hit a certain age where we become quite charming and brilliant. The rest of my family will hit it soon enough, but until then, I thank you for indulging in all of my insufferable antics.
No problem.
Now, let us prepare for our wonderful holiday. Oh dear, there appears to be feces on the floor. Better step around that. After so many years of people hating the prequels, these filmmakers had a lot to... The Wachowskis, the director... If you look at a lot of the deleted scenes and original scripts, you'll find that a lot of it was very similar to the now despised prequels. There were a lot of political talks, there were a lot of pointless scenes. And admit it, some of the dialogue has an eerie corniness of what was to come years later.
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Couldn't you just hear that alongside?
Either choice presents great danger to us all.
Years of not directing a film, not really doing that much storytelling, and nobody talking against him, but instead praising him as a genius. Can we really be shocked we got what we got? There is no one answer. It can come from any style, anywhere, from anyone. Let either film rely on just one element for their comedy, thank God. Everyone has had a film where you come out saying, wow, that's not at all what I thought I was gonna get from the trailer. It has a different one, so everybody has something new to offer. The only downside is, it's about as exciting as a Phantom Menace pod race. Phantom Menace all got positive reviews when they first came. In some respects, that's true for the Phantom Menace as well. It's a bad film, especially when compared to its predecessors. But critics liked it when it first came out because they thought the technology and visuals were breathtaking. And at the time, they kinda were. Now we can see the computers are overused, but back then we never saw a film that just surrounded itself in so much of that technology, at least not to this extent. And given all the same things that critics had to see over and over, yeah, this would be a little refreshing. But many people were upset that they couldn't connect with the story or characters. At least, they eventually said that. Many people were so sucked in by the hype that for a long time they convinced themselves that they like it, even though later they come around to admitting that they really don't. So the idea that critics are always going to be right doesn't make the most logical sense. This is like asking people to make videos saying why they love Star Wars and then suddenly editing it to make it look like you're talking about the Phantom Menace.
So this universe has both angels and hell, yet no Christianity.
Keep it a midichlorian church. And that was Rogue One.
The most above average Star Wars prequel.
Loved or hated, but what if it just becomes okay? Number 4. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Yeah, pretty hard not to have what many consider the most hated sequel of all time. Though I technically think Attack of the Clones is a worse movie, Phantom Menace gave much more of a letdown than really any Star Wars viewer, fan or not, could have expected. Going from a simple story with strong themes, likable characters, and a well-defined mythos, this prequel gave us way too much story, boring/annoying/racist characters, and poop jokes. Because that's what was missing from Star Wars. Abandoning the mix of practical effects with superimposed imagery, this world lives mainly in the computer, never really looking like the main characters are looking at what should be right in front of them. The movie has done everything to rewrite the ideas and symbols that fans held so dear by saying faith and religion can be in a blood test. Virgin births are totally a thing now. No big deal. And people don't need to have personalities because we can put all our humor in one obnoxious character. Star Wars was loved so much that it took fans several viewings for them to accept that this is actually a bad movie. It was like the stages of death, going through denial, bargaining, fear, anger, but when the acceptance finally set in, there was no denying what crap storm we all witnessed. This went from arguably the most anticipated film in a lifetime to the most despised betrayal of a fan base felt with a creator. No matter what the future of the Star Wars movies hold, this film is so bad that everyone can almost guarantee it can't possibly get worse.
Are you an angel?
Oh, sorry, that was Jake Lloyd, but it was hard to tell the difference, wasn't it? Take two giants like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Two classic filmmakers return to their groundbreaking franchises after years and years of venturing into other genres. Poorly written dialogue and focus in the wrong areas seem to be major complaints for these films. Because if we had more good ones, we'd be spoiled.